You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on Citi TV. Now, today is a holiday, August 4, 2023. Founders Day holiday. I want to throw a very quick quiz at you at home and ask you what you know about Founders Day, what you think about it. Yeah, but basically it's a day, a historic day actually, set aside to observe and celebrate the significant contributions of leadership towards Ghana's march for independence and the achievement of same. Now, you know, previously, prior to the coming into power of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led NPP government, we're celebrating Founders Day on the 21st of September,
Yes.
which happens to be the birthday of Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And even how the Founders Day was spelled was different.
Yeah,
because
like
previously it was
founder,
founder
apostrophe
S. So that made it singular possessive,
Yes.
more like representing Kwame Nkrumah
Nkrumah's,
as
yeah.
the founder. But then the MPP government came into power and felt that, well, the contributions of all the other leaders, the big six, should be recognized and celebrated as well. And so now the spelling has been changed.
Yeah.
The apostrophe has been moved
Forward.
forward.
After the S.
So after the S. So now it's
Founders
Founders Day,
Day, yeah.
plural possessive. You get it?
Yes, I
So
get it.
it captures all the
So
big
not just
six.
one person, but we're celebrating.
Exactly.
all-
So William Oforiatta, J.B. Dankwa, Akweje, Obechebi
That's
Lampe,
such an iconic
Kwame
picture right
Nkrumah.
there.
Yes, so it captures all of them in there. So now, and then the date, of course, was changed from the 21st of September to the 4th of August. So that's how come today we're celebrating a holiday, but we are at work.
Yes. We're here to make you happy, to entertain each and every one of you.
Exactly. So yes, I mean, there was a struggle for independence accumulated to Freedom Declaration by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in 1957, and today we're here as independent Ghanaians, and so. Well, it's worthwhile celebrating the Founders Day, giving honor to whom honor is due. But we want to ask you a very simple question. I mean, we've seen progress, significant progress from where we were in 1957 to where we have come today in 2023. But we have a question for you. What's the one thing you think Ghana's founders will be upset about if they were alive today? What's that one thing you think Ghana's founders will be upset about if they were alive today? Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think about it. I have given this some thought, right? Even then, relatively scarce resources then, relatively low technology then, relatively a smaller population then. We saw a number of significant developments.
Right.
We've traveled this far in time. We've seen growth in population, in technology, in resources. But it's as though we are retrogressing instead of progressing. So, in my own estimation, if I were a founder, one of the leaders from then, I would have pictured a significant level of development.
Right.
Listen, we're far ahead countries like Singapore back then. But today, look at Singapore. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I would be so disappointed, one, with infrastructural development, two, with our shambolic health system,
Right.
and worst of all is the corruption in the system.
Anyway, we actually have a caller right now joining us, Samuel from Cape Coast. Hi, Samuel.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well by God's grace, and you.
All right, thanks for calling. So what's one thing you think Ghana's founders will be upset about if they were alive today?
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. In fact, most of them are not alive, but then I think they are good. Us where we do not know are going to be so much disappointed about the mismanagement of our resources. I remember at a point in time when we heard that they discovered oil at the Cape 3 point, but the whole country was happy. I think that's going to be the end of our problems. And then look at what has happened. Despite the oil that we have, the good and the almost everything, but things are not well with that. So I think our founders are going to be so much disappointed about the mismanagement of our natural resources. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you.
Great points.
Yeah, great point.
I mean,
Mismanagement.
just like I was saying, back then it was just the gold, the cocoa, the timber, and a few other resources.
Right.
We had bauxite then, and a few others. Now we have oil.
You know, talking about this oil, like sometimes I forget that Ghana has found oil.
Well, because you're not seeing the proceeds thereof.
Exactly. I actually forget. Just 2 days ago, someone was like, "Oh, so what does Ghana have?" And I was just like, "We have gold, we have this, we have that. I'm part of Ghana right now, so I know what they have." And he was like, "But you don't have oil." I said, "Oh, we have oil.
We do
and
have
I was like,
oil,
But we don't hear
actually.
any news about the oil sector."
We do
and
have oil,
I was like, "Well,
actually,
that's
yeah.
true."
It all goes down to the mismanagement someone was talking about earlier. If we're able to manage our resources properly and not just, I mean, the mining or the exploration of these resources, but adding value to these resources. Like
Right.
I said, we've come a long way since 1957. We've always had the gold. Why are we still exporting in its raw state?
Right.
You get it?
Sure.
We've always had the cocoa, but we're giving the beans to somebody at that person's price. We are not determining the price. The person goes to add value to it, comes back to sell to us at their own
At their own
price.
Yes, that's true.
It's sad. So that's how come sometimes when we have to celebrate some of these holidays, I mean, I cringe and go like, to what end?
To rest, basically.
Well, perhaps. Perhaps just to rest.
Right. But I mean, well, it's actually important that we celebrate some of these holidays because it will also teach, you know, the young ones, about history. You understand? Like, you know, talking about the big six, yeah. So there are some kids out there that don't even know. So if they ask questions like, what are we really celebrating? And then you can explain to them that, okay, we're celebrating the founders, these are the founders. And
so it gives us an opportunity to share our history.
You understand, and tell our own story.
Okay.
You understand.
Okay.
So maybe I think that's one thing we can take away from the holidays, right?
Manuel from Ho is on the lines. Good morning, Manuel. Unfortunately, we seem to have lost Manuel. But yes, please call us back. Let us know what you think. Tell us that one thing you think the founders, if they were to have been alive today, would be disappointed about. Let's talk about infrastructure.
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah put together the Accra-Tema motorway, right? I drive on the motorway every single day. You should see the state it's in now.
I think the culture of maintenance.
Yeah.
The founders will be really angry at that.
Poor maintenance culture.
Poor maintenance culture.
And it's so sad. Listen, the motorway is a concrete road, right? I am no expert, but if it develops a patch, a pothole, and you want to fix it, I don't know what science goes into it, but they are fixing it with bitumen, asphalt. And definitely the level of expansion and contraction between concrete and asphalt will be different.
Different, way different.
Let's go on to the phone lines and speak to Isa. Isa, good morning. Hello, good morning, Isa.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Happy holiday, happy holiday, happy holiday.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you.
How are you observing the day?
Yes, I'm just having time with family at home and reflecting on Ghana's history and the contributions of our founders and the contribution of every individual of Ghana.
Right, great stuff, great stuff. And in your reflection, what is that one thing you suppose the founders would be disappointed if they were alive today?
Yes, so it's a very complex question, to be very honest, because I would like to briefly touch on the turbulence that occurred in the middle of our independence and right after independence, how we were driven back as a country as a result of all sorts of interventions. You know, the British intervention scheme, the coup d'etat, and all of that. I think sometimes we forget about this past history of ours when we are looking at the developmental trajectory of this country. We just say, okay, we had 55 years of independence. Look at where we are. But we forget that we had many years of turbulence until 1992 when we had relative stability. So to be very honest, our developmental agenda focused mainly and very, very clearly when we had a very stable Fourth Republic. So that needs to be put into context as well. And one of the things that I feel our founders be disappointed in is the fact that we have abandoned the industrial agenda and that we have gone back to study book and write and memorize things and just pour things out without putting them into action. So if you look at Kwame Nkrumah and the vision that he had with a number of factories, even though people criticize that it were materials and all of that, but that was an example to show to us that if we want this country to be where we want it to be, if we want this country to really develop, we need to have that industrial mindset. But unfortunately, successive governments and this current government have not pushed that very hard. The reason I'm saying this is, if you look at the northern part of Ghana, where I come from, there are a lot of opportunities, but people cannot tap into these opportunities because they aren't developed. I was excited when government was talking about the one district, one warehouse policy to provide a safe for post-harvest losses and to reduce farmers' loss when they harvest their crops. Unfortunately, these warehouses have not been fitted with the state-of-art technology to be able to really preserve goods. We have watermelon right now. Watermelon is just going to get spoiled because no buyers. But ultimately, in the next few months, we will need watermelon. But we won't find any because we don't. Look at the Salawu multipurpose dam, which the government came in and it was a lot of fanfare. We celebrated in the Northeast region. In the Upper East region, we celebrated it because that was going to be a revolutionary project that is going to transform irrigation farming in the North. Unfortunately, that project hasn't seen the light of the day. We only saw that part of it was worked on and abandoned later on, which is very sad. And I would like this opportunity on Founders Day to remind the president to really pick up that promise of the Salawu multipurpose dam and do something about it. All of that said, I want to say that this brings an opportunity for us to also reflect on some of the gains that we have made. Right, regardless of our challenges, regardless of where we are right now and what we want to be.
I agree. Yeah,
we have a lot of things that we need to celebrate. And I'm so proud to be a Ghanaian. And happy Founders Day to you and your co-host.
All right, thank you so very much, Issa. Very, very insightful, quite detailed, but that was great. Issa, I don't know if you're a historian or a student of history, but yeah, you really got your facts there. But it's interesting how he puts it. I mean, he reflects on the history of the country, the Declaration of Independence thereof, and then he takes us into the challenges we face. And he summarizes the progress we've made as well, quite apt. I don't know, I can't agree with him any less, which is actually true, because talk about some of the projects he mentioned. The Polugu multipurpose dam. Listen, if that dam had seen the light of day, irrigation farming up north would have been perfect. Then, of course, it also has the capacity to generate electricity.
Right.
So we wouldn't have seen some of the challenges we saw during the Doomsday era. We wouldn't have gone into some of the power purchase agreements that we are being told today is the cause of economic woes. You get it. So, I mean, yes, we've made some progress, but then again, yes, there are challenges.
Right, true. Yeah.
We'll talk about Nkrumah's 7-year development plan, but let's speak to Salifu from the Northeast region. Good morning, Salifu.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm terrific, by the grace of God.
Happy holiday to you.
Thank you. I'm speaking to you from Janga, Northeast region.
Right. Please go ahead. Well, what do you think our founders would have been be disappointed in if they were alive today?
Let me say that it would have been a mixed feeling. Mixed feeling in a sense that Ghana as a country at any point in time will make progress and retrogress. And this reason, the reason why we do this because it's from you and I.
Right.
Our character is that, I will never gonna greet the first president of this country. Though, if you go and look at his profile, his governance and whatever, there were times and even within his own government or the era of his government. But that doesn't mean that we should put the battle. Now, if you look at the country and what our forebearers for, I cannot say we have completely deviated from that. But because of certain things, we are not able to achieve their goals for them and for us as Ghanaians. Yes, because my problem as a Ghanaian, and the reason why this country is where is it today is because of character that we have as a country or as Ghanaians. We are not committed to doing the right thing. And I've always said that, look, no human being in his or her free will do the right thing. It is only systems that will force people to do the right thing. And in this country, when we talk about systems, I think we have almost all the systems. But our problem has to do with lack of enforcement. If we are to be following meritocracy in giving people appointment and giving them taxes, I think we have gone far than where we are now. So for me, we should not just throw our hands into despair and say that we have failed. No, I disagree with anybody who have this view. But we have not done much as expected of us as a country. Looking at what God has blessed this country with in terms of human and natural resources. So from now going, if we all want to make the difference, we can make it by rallying around government with good policies that will lift up from our current better place that we are all in.
Right.
If you look at, let me just land on the one thing that one of the following me, which I support. The Proper Dam project that is just mentioned. This is a project that there's no doubt will change the economic situation in the five northern regions of this country. And we all know what affected the project most people, but it has not been abandoned because I can remember, I think 1.5 months ago, the estate division of VRA was in the East region here discussing the plans that they have taken already to relocate the communities that are going to be affected by the project execution. So the project is still alive, but though it's in a slow phase, which I'm not also so happy about that. So the government should expedite action on the project so that the people of this country, the people in the northeast, and our participating will benefit from the project. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the day as well. Right, so interesting, thoughts being shared there.
I like what he said. He said, no one should say that, like, we have failed right now, or Ghana has failed right now. It's just that the systems are there, but no one is pushing for the systems to be implemented properly.
Exactly, yeah.
You understand?
It wouldn't be fair to say we failed. No, we've come a long way. Yes, progress has been made. But are we there?
No, we're not there.
We are not there. And clearly you would admit that we could have done better. We could have done better.
You think
really.
We could have done better?
I mean, we have done well, but we could have done better. We've done well because we've seen growth, right? Talk about infrastructure. We've seen the development of airports across the country. We've seen port expansion projects. We've seen road infrastructure across the country. We've seen the provision of health facilities across the country. There's been extension of water, potable water, and electricity to some remote areas across the country. But have we covered the entire country?
No, we haven't.
Exactly.
No, we haven't. All right, so we have another caller. Julius. Hi, Julius.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Dunkwa, Ofen.
All right. So how are you enjoying the holiday?
Anyway, I actually am not really holidaying. I just came from a night shift.
Okay.
I'm going to the evening.
All right. So what's one thing you think Ghana's founders will be upset about if they were alive today?
All right. So like I said, I'm speaking from Dunkwa. Okay, and right from Obasi, the good dog stuff, ran through Manso, then through the Dunkwa enclaves, through Bogaso, to Takwa, and even beyond. And this is where a chunk of the gold Ghana produces is coming from. But I tell you, the road in this area currently is so bad. I mean, a lot of the roads are so bad that within this rainy season, you get roads being blocked because articulated trucks that are carrying, raw materials and other inputs for the mining industry get stuck on the road. The roads get stuck. I mean, roads can get blocked for 24 hours. And to top it all, this our new government came to launch planting for freedom jobs here at Duba. And I was expecting, we all had a joy that, having launched the project here, and the fact that we are fighting against Galamsey, an alternative through the farming for food and jobs will be initiated in the area to at least get the youth into farming and probably, convince them to turn their back on the Galamsey. But there's nothing like that. Meanwhile, the government spent loads of funds. Transported dignitaries to come and launch a whole program in this area, and there is nothing that is, there to boost the youth to go into the same program that they came to launch here. And honestly, I think if it starts like this, definitely the founders will not be happy. You see tracks of bauxite on the road, and they belong to individuals. Meanwhile, our road system has been abandoned. And bauxite is being hauled by tracks that belong to individuals. I don't think these are things that our founders, will be happy about at all. That is my take for this morning. Not really a special one, especially the fact that I'm working from the area and the weak things are in the area. So somebody is trying all the time. Right in the day, there are barriers around the same barrier. We have police barriers, but you hear some fans on the river working in the day, not in the night. It's so disheartening. Yes, thank you.
All right,
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
This is basically about road infrastructure.
Yes. And it's like he's reporting from there.
Yeah.
And okay, when it comes to this issue of roads, right? Especially even for the fact that we spoke about it yesterday, Bindili, the issue of Bindili. Do you think it's an issue of sectionalism?
I don't think so.
Or it's just that they forget, or that there's just too much on the plate that, okay, we'll do this later. Or they keep postponing.
You see, what I suspect is that we are poor at targeting where our social interventions go to. You get it? Because if we're doing proper targeting, then actual beneficiaries of some of these projects will be the beneficiaries of them. We're not targeting properly. You get what I'm saying? Just as we learned yesterday, that particular road could have easily been an international road connecting that part of the country into Togo. And this would have opened that side of the country up to business. Now we've gone under the African Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA, but yet we do not have connecting roads into other countries like that. So the few roads that go into the other countries will be burdened because now there are more tracks. Now we've expanded our ports, so now there's increased haulage.
Okay. All right.
You get it? So it puts too much pressure on existing infrastructure.
True. All right. Zach from Western Region, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you and your cherished viewers.
Thank you so much. So what's one... Okay, you can contribute.
Yes. I am celebrating the Founders Day elsewhere in the Western region. When a day like this, I am looking at the concept of industrialization from the founders, Kwame Nkrumah specifically. His idea about corruption, and then his Pan-African concept. Industrialization. I will not say we have failed. Neither will I say that we have chalked success as far as the concept of industrialization is concerned. Let's look at one district, one factory. What is the contribution of one district, one factory to the GDP of Ghana? Corruption. What is the how far are we able to fight corruption to reflect the ideologies and the ideals of Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah? So to that extent, I am not completely happy with how we've gone far. So that is my contribution. If the founders were to be here with us, they will not be happy. And Kwame Nkrumah will not be happy in his grave with the statement that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. I'm not sure Kwame Nkrumah will be happy. So that is my contribution. Look at what is happening in the entire continent, in Niger issue. Where were ECOWAS? Where were the African leaders when these corrupt activities and other activities were taking place in the continent? Where were they?
Right.
So that is my contribution.
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, but just so we are clear, we're not throwing this question or we're not asking this question because we think we have failed as a state entirely.
Right.
No, that's not what we are saying. We have made progress, significant progress. We're just asking that based on the vision of the founders and even in their time, what they thought of, how they envisaged the country to grow, what's that one thing they would be upset about today if they were alive. We're not saying that there's not been any development or any progress since the times of our founding fathers. No, that's not what we are saying. But we are only asking that between then and now, what's that one thing the founders would have been upset about if they were alive today? So basically that is what we're saying. I just had to put that across to make it clear so that it's not like we are sitting here throwing our hands up in the air in despair and giving up. No. We're not giving up on Ghana. We're going to fight for Ghana. We're going to contribute our quota to ensure that really Ghana grows as it should.
Well,
right.
If you ask me that question, I would think the founders will be a bit confused about, the abandonment of, some infrastructures. You understand?
Perhaps.
Like, if this party starts this building and another party comes into power, that building is forgotten.
Well, I've mentioned it.
I'm sure the founders will be like, what is really going on?
It's the lack of policies that transcend the political parties. And it's the winner takes all system that we are running.
True.
And the individual quest to leave legacies. That's one of the challenges we're having to deal with.
Right.
But let's speak to Seth. Seth, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Right. Well, what's the plan for the holiday?
I want to,
Sorry?
our national diary, I have to speak to you. Not all the Ghanaians can, speak. Not all the Ghanaians can speak the English language. And then such a program, you have to, turn the whole issue to, Ghana dialect. That's Asante. Huh? By every time Ghanaians, you are trying to, copy the English people. When you go to China, it's a program, they will not speak English or other things. They will speak their dialect.
Well, that's because they have one language.
Oh,
We are a country of...
No.
Not necessarily. No. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Unfortunately, we lost him. He sought to make a point that we spoke in Chi here, but you see, that may not necessarily be fair to others who are unable to comprehend.
And this is exactly
the
same things the founders will not be happy about.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Yes. I think it's one Ghana. It's one Ghana for crying out
Exactly.
loud. So we need to, if we are, going to follow the one Ghana agenda, we should also know that there are different tribes of people, and we need to also accommodate them in a way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, I mean, just as one of the callers mentioned, Nkrumah sought to industrialize the country. The founders sought to lead the fight to economic independence because they had gained political independence.
Right.
So the fight to economic independence, and they sought to push that through industrialization. So, I mean, within that period, we saw a number of factories come up. There was Valco, we saw Akosombo, Dantema, Steel Works, and a number of them. What is the current state?
Right now.
So these are some of the things
because
they
imagine rebuilding all those things now.
Yeah. If they were here now.
Yes, exactly.
Working effectively and efficiently. All right, let's go to the Upper West region and speak to Francis. Good morning, sir. Upper East region. Hello, Francis.
Yeah, I'm from Upper East Bongo.
Upper East region. Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that correction. How you doing?
Yes, how are you doing?
Very well, thank
Thank
you. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing good. Can you?
Francis, can you turn down the volume on
Oh,
your
I'm doing
TV set? It's like you're monitoring that and listening to us as well. We're getting some feedback from there. Right. Can kindly go ahead now, please.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello,
Francis.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can
we
hear
can.
Uh-huh. Iman, for me, what I see since our forefathers did, and to see what is happening in this time, I think our country we move forward small. But my sister talked about the building that you always build and abandon it and change it. That one day you have to talk to the politicians very well. Because the way the politicians, the way they do it is not fair. Because some of the buildings, you abandon them and go and do different things. And by the end of the day, you will come out saying that you need this, we don't need this, we don't do that. Something like this is not fair at all.
Right, right.
But this is what I have for this early in the morning.
All right, Francis, thank you very much. Yeah, he seems to support you on that.
Yeah, and he's actually very upset on behalf of the founders.
It's sad.
It's actually sad. It's actually sad. Because
like,
if it's going to be abandoned, what was the need of wasting that much fund? What was the need of even thinking of it if it's going to be abandoned? We sort of forget that it's all about Ghana. It's not about this party. It's about the betterment of the people of Ghana. And if the people of Ghana are happy, that means you are happy.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why you see the institutions like the NDPC, the National Development Planning Commission, should be empowered and emboldened. That, I mean, the plan should not just sit on paper.
Yeah.
There should be an implementation plan. The resources should be there to back it so that it's carried out to the letter. And then, you see, these plans, like I'm saying, should be able to go beyond political regimes.
Exactly.
You get it? So that it doesn't stop when one party is out of power.
True.
The next party comes and they also begin their projects all together. Nobody's asking them not to add on.
Exactly.
But let's complete existing infrastructure.
True.
Then we can continue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have Felix from Teshi on the line with us. Hi, Felix.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Okay, happy holidays to you. And now, so what's the one thing you think Ghana's founders will be upset about if they were alive today?
Okay, so me, I'm looking at Nkrumah, Makwaje, and other African leaders when they were at Lincoln University. They planned that they were going to give free education to all Africans, free health to all Africans. That's why after independence, you could see that African leaders were working towards one agenda. But now, I cannot see that. We are not getting quality education like our forefathers, because once you get quality education, you become conscious, you become knowledgeable, you solve problems without putting your interest much in it. And that is what I'm suspecting our forefathers will be looking for. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank
That's
you.
a very good point.
So he talks about education. And once again, education was captured in Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's 7-year development plan.
Yeah. It's very important that, that sector also needs to be talked about. Because at the end of the day, he said something that I have seen, it's true. The whole educational system is...
It's got its own challenges in there.
Like a lot of challenges. And as parents, if you do not want to, face that, or if you do not want your ward to, face some of these problems, you are forced to put your child in a private school. And obviously, it's not that cheap.
Yeah.
It's not that cheap for everyone. So the educational system needs to be,
And it's not everyone that can afford private education
true.
in the country. No, it's not everyone that can afford.
And for the fact that he said that the plan was to give Africans free education. Yes, we might not be able to give free education right now. Bills need to be paid, teachers need to be paid, and, we need to have the right infrastructure in schools. But I think it's very important we look at the kind of education or the quality of education that we put out there for, our students students to absorb, or our kids to absorb right now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we have a caller on the line. Derek, good morning.
Dennis, rather.
Dennis.
Good morning.
Dennis, yes. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing too?
Very well, thank you. How you spending the holiday today?
It's quite normal and unfortunate we are in Ghana.
Oh,
Wow.
is it unfortunate to be in Ghana?
Wow.
Yes, please.
Oh, Dennis.
And that will build my point.
Dennis, you are sounding so sad this morning. What's going on?
Yes, I'm really sad. Why is it that all Ghanaians, especially the youth, are running out from the country to search for greener pastures outside the country? And isn't that upsetting? Talking on the educationally wise, talking on the education, as you people are saying now, especially the Ghanaian lady will be using, excuse my language, they will be using sex as the pass mark on their education trial. Teachers are on them, work, big bosses are on them for them to get the better work to do. When you don't sacrifice sex to the big boys, you will not be picked to work, or you will not get job. That is why it's making every Ghanaian to move out from the country. And I think they will be upset on that one too.
Right.
If the big boys or if the government will dive well into education, find better qualified people to work on the students so they will be able to learn well and learn to get their pass mark without using sex as their pass mark, and obtaining Ghanaians here to work for a better Ghana. I think that's it on that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dennis. Dennis brings a different perspective to the conversation.
And he sounds quite sad. Well, for his own perspective, I actually do agree with the fact that a lot of people are leaving the country right now. In my, longest time of staying in this country, this is the first time, I keep telling people, this is the first time I've seen Ghanaians just want to leave. When I moved here, a lot of people, are relaxed with the country. They are okay with how everything is going. In fact, Ghanaians really love Ghana.
Yeah.
But for the first time, it really feels like, look, I'm fed up. I don't want to stay here again. I'm like, wow, you guys are leaving. So where am I supposed to go if you are leaving?
Well, but there's hope. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, there's hope. I'm going to wrap this up with Kwame Nkrumah's concluding statement when he presented that 7-year development plan to Parliament. And I read, "I can already see in my mind's eye a picture of Ghana as it will be by the end of the planned period. I see a state with a strong and viral economy, its agriculture and industry buoyant and prosperous, an industrialized nation serving the needs of its people. Let us, therefore, as from today, move forward together, united in devotion and determination, to give off our best in the execution and implementation of this 7-year plan." That was Dr. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, his concluding remarks when he presented that 7-year development plan to Parliament. And so, I mean, even as we reflect on the day, Founders Day, and of course the progress we've made, the challenges, and the vision we have, this is a call to action. I take this particular line again. Let us therefore, as from today, move forward together, united in devotion and determination, to give off our best in the execution and implementation of this 7-year plan. Together, if we put our shoulders to the wheel, we can make Ghana a better place for all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I think this shouldn't just, be towards maybe the politicians or people in government. It actually should be towards every Ghanaian. We have to put our hands together to, for the betterment of Ghana. All right, guys, so that's it for this segment. We will be checking out our personality profile, but we have to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.